So as I was telling Stefania, this is an experiment to see if I could do Monday nights from home, since I go from the yoga class to Yoga Nidra. And we'll see. I miss all the space I have in the sanctuary, but we're going to try. Okay. So I have been thinking about the power of forgiveness and how important it is. And when we talk about forgiveness in yoga, we talk about letting go. When you forgive someone, it doesn't mean you condone what they have done. It doesn't mean that everything's okay, but it means you've let go of the resentment and the anger that you've been carrying around. Someone once said that when you carry anger or resentment around, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And I think that's pretty powerful. We need to let go. We need to not carry that burden, not carry that resentment around with us. So with that thought in mind, let's come inside, close your eyes, and begin to focus on your breath. Feel your tall mountain spine as you sit comfortably in your Sukhasana. As you deepen your breath, think about breathing in forgiveness. And when you exhale, you let go of anything that's holding you back, any resentment, any anger. Just let it go. It's not worth carrying it around. Make sure your exhale is long and slow. Return to your natural rhythm of breathing. Open your eyes to let in the light. So when I think of letting go, I think of complete freedom, unburdening yourself, and that makes me think of flying. So our class is going to be centered around flight. So let's start in child's pose.
When you come into child's pose, see if you can let your arms rest alongside your legs, your fingers pointing in the same direction as your toes. And you come into the shape of an egg, like a little egg. An introspective pose of humility. And for tonight's purposes, it's also a pose of letting go, of rebirth. Look up,
Extend your right arm over your head. Your palm is flat on the mat. Come up on to your right fingertips. Inhale and exhale, peek underneath your right arm. Checking out, we're breaking out of our egg and we want to see what's out there. I don't know, maybe it's not so good. So come back in, bring your arm back down on the mat, and then extend your left arm. Come on to your fingertips. Look under your left arm. See what's out there. Bring both arms down on the mat. And you're going to begin to break your head out of your shell as you slide your hands towards your knees and come up to stand on your knees. And we're going to let our wings just float alongside our body. So while you're doing this, you're rolling your shoulders, roll one back, roll the other one back, bend your elbow, let it flow, let your arms just flow. Like you're checking out these funny wings you have alongside your body. And then come to stand on your knees with your arms alongside your legs. You're going to reach up with your right arm, reach for the sky. I am not mirroring you. So reaching for your right sky, with your right arm. Send your left fingers to the mat. Look up at your right arm. Look down at your left. Looking up and looking down, opening up your neck as you spread your wings, as you begin the process. Look up and look down. Bring both arms down. Head is neutral. Send your left arm up. Right fingers reach for the mat, left for the sky. Look up and look down. Up on an inhale, exhale, look down. Inhale and exhale. Bring both arms down alongside your body. Bring your arms, your hands to your hips, your little wings floating beside you. So you want to keep your hands on your hips. Inhale, exhale from the waist. Keep your pelvis pointed forward. Inhale, exhale, opposite side. Inhale to center. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale, other side. Come back to center. Release your arms. So we're going to begin more of the process of breaking out of our egg. So you want to step one leg up. It might be a little wobbly. Walk it forward. Keep your hands at your hips. Bring them back behind you so that the heel of your hand is at your back waist. Your fingers are pointing down in the same direction as your sits bones. You're going to inhale and you're going to exhale. You're going to slide your hips forward. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, slide. Inhale, straighten. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then come up to stand on your knee and bring your right leg back to the mat. Step your left leg forward. Walk your foot away. Hands to the back, your back hips, your heel of your hand to your back waist. Inhale. Exhale, slide your hips forward. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And leave your foot leg bent. Your hips are over your supporting leg. And you'll step your left leg back. Bring your hands to the mat. You're not in a table. Your hands are forward of your shoulders, and you're going to slide your hips forward, then over to the left, back behind you, to the right, making circles with your hips. And then the next time you're facing forward, your hips are forward between your arms, go the other direction. And then bring your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. Some cats and dogs. So on an inhale, scoop your spine towards the mat. Exhale, cat spine. Push the mat away. Feel your tailbone reaching downward. Feel your shoulder blades spreading apart. Inhale. Curl your spine towards the mat. Your heart is reaching forward ever so slowly. And keep it going now at your own pace. Exhaling in your cat spine, inhaling in your dog. Come back to a neutral spine. You might want to walk to the top of your mat so you have a lot of mat behind you. Extend your right leg back behind you. Come onto the ball of your foot. Straighten that leg. And pump your heel. Just pump it so that you can open the back of your leg. Then swivel your right foot on the mat, fan open. Okay, we're really beginning to come out of our shell. Check your feet. You want the arch of your right foot in line with your left toes. Send your right arm alongside your ear, your right toes in the opposite direction for a full side body stretch. Bring your arm down, bring your knee down, and we'll do that on the other side. Left leg reaches out on the mat, on the ball of your foot, and pump your heel. Pump it and feel the back of your leg opening up. Then swivel your left foot, line it up with your right, stand open to the left. Arm alongside your ear and toes go one direction, fingers opposite direction. Feel that stretch in your left side body. And then bring your hand down, bring your knee down, bring your hips to your heels. So we're probably finally ready to finally burst out of our shell. And here we go again. You're going to lift your hips, slide your hands towards your knees, send your wings all the way out to the side, open them up nice and wide. Inhale, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, bring your prayer to your heart. Inhale, send your arms down by the side, your palms facing forward. Bring your left hand to your left hip, your right arm alongside your right ear for a lateral stretch. Bring both arms up overhead, and we'll do that on the other side. Right arm to right hip, left arm lateral stretch. Bring both arms up overhead. Bring your arms down alongside your body. And right now, what we're going to do is you're just going to turn to look over your right shoulder. Just turn and look over and see what's back there. What is there behind you? And we're just going to leave it there and come back to the present. Inhale, exhale, look over your left shoulder. Maybe there's a lesson that you learned from your past. You can take hold of it and bring it back into the present, looking forward. All right. You're going to step your right leg out to the side. Yeah. You're going to swivel your foot so that your toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat or any edge of your mat, wherever you are, whichever side of the mat you're on. You may have your mat this way, it doesn't matter. You want your toes pointing away from you. Now, if that's too uncomfortable, when you do that, you want to make sure your whole leg rotates, your knee goes with it so you don't skew your knee. If that's too uncomfortable, let your toes just go straight out away from you, right? Either way. Your right arm is alongside you resting on your right arm, your right leg. Your left arm is alongside your ear, and you're going to reach down, opening up your heart. Don't collapse over your leg, and you're going to reach for your ankle or whatever you can comfortably get to. It does not matter. Any amount is good. You're going to look up at your left hand, your top hand. Look down at your right. You're going to come to a neutral. Your head, bring your head to neutral. You're going to lift your bottom arm. You're going to send your top arm to a parallel position with your bottom arm as much as is possible. And then you're going to come all the way up. If you have a block, you can reach with your left hand for that block, or bring your fingertips down to the mat. Send your right arm alongside your right ear. Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky, because you're going to try and get your right arm parallel with your mat or with the floor, and lift your left arm in parallel as well. Gate pose. Bring both arms up to center. Return your knee to the mat. Let's do that on the other side. Left leg goes out. So when you send your leg out to the side, you do not want your shoulders to go with it. So your shoulders stay square in front of you. Left arm alongside your leg. Lift your right arm alongside your ear. Look up at the sky. Look down. Bring your head back to neutral. Lift your left arm, parallel arms over the floor. Inhale, back up. Inhale, exhale. Right arm, fingertips to the mat or your palm, whatever works, or block. Left arm comes parallel with the mat, and right arm meets it. Two parallel arms. Inhale, back up. Bring your knee back to the mat. Right. So you're going to bring your hips down to the mat to come in to Sukhasana. Right. Easy pose. Take a deep breath, and on an exhale, twist to your right. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, and then exhale all the way over to the other side. Look over your left shoulder, or whichever shoulder you happen to be over. And come back to center. Bring your feet together, the soles of your feet together. And we have to begin a little work with our wings here. So butterfly your legs so we can start to fly. All right. And then pause. Bring your hands to your shins, and we're going to do some cats and dogs from this position. So on an inhale, send your heart forward. On an exhale, curl your spine back behind you. Inhale and exhale. After your next cat, pause for a moment and come up to sit in a neutral spine. Send your legs out in front of you. Yeah. Dandasana. Hands alongside your hips, fingers pointing forward, elbows reaching back, legs are active, feet are flexed, crown of your head reaching up. Push into the mat just a little bit, or if you're on a blanket, into the blanket, and see if you can lift your spine just a little bit more. Bring your belly towards your spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale once more. Inhale and exhale. Bring your right leg into your chest. Hug it. And then open it out to the side. Square your shoulders and sit as if you had two legs stretched out in front of you. Inhale your arms alongside your ears, fingers pointing to the sky. Inhale, engage your abdominal muscles. Keep your spine long and flat as you hinge over your extended leg. Any amount, any amount. Look up at your foot. Release your right arm. Follow your fingers as they reach for the sky, as they come down alongside your right hip. Use your left arm as a propeller to come up onto your right shin. Okay, so we're going, you can stay right here. You can come back down to sit, or you can decide to fly a little bit higher to have a more, a deeper flight pattern, right? So bend your knee, bring it towards your shoulder, reach for your toes and straighten your leg. Maybe, maybe not. You can reach for your ankle and do it. Then bend your knee, come back down to sit. Legs straight out in front of you. Left leg comes to your chest. Your knee comes to your chest. And hug your leg. Open it out to the side. Square your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, engage your abs, protect your lower back, and fold over your extended leg. Any amount works. Look up, release your left arm, follow your hand as it reaches for the sky, as it lands alongside your hip. Use your right arm to bring you up. And again, you can stay right here, or you can come up a little bit more. It might help you to come up a little bit more on your left shin. Bring your right knee into your chest, and maybe you'll straighten your leg. Maybe, it's a maybe. Bend your knee, bring it back down, and come back to sit in Sukhasana. Right. All right, so we want to do a little bit more flying, I think, from the earth. Now, this is not going to be for everybody. If you're on a blanket, come off it and put the blanket behind you. So it's there for support right behind you. Bring the soles of your feet together and take the pinky side of your feet with your hands. And you're going to come up to sit nice and tall. You're going to lengthen one leg. You're going to engage your abdominal muscles and lengthen the other leg. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you'll fall out of it, and that's just fine. That's just okay. Very good. Very good. All right. And maybe you'll bring your legs together and bring your head between your arms. I know you can't see me. I should have been in the other direction to create a teardrop. And then bring your legs back to Sukhasana. Excellent flying. Good. Wonderful. Okay. So I think it's probably time we come up to stand. And in order for me to do this, I'm going to have to come and move my computer screen a little bit so you can see me standing. Okay, good. Come to your mountain. Right? Nice, long, tall mountain. Send your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let your arms just fall by your side, belly to spine to lift your ribs north. Crown of your head reaches up towards the sky. Sun breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe we should call these moon breaths. I think the full moon is coming upon us pretty soon. So let's salute the moon. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And release your arms down alongside your body. Okay, so we're going to do a little work on our eagle since we're going to fly. If you have a block, you can use your block. And you can get these on Amazon. They're about like $7, and maybe, you know, with all the sales going on, you can even get 2 of them. If you have one or a pillow, something like a block, put it outside your left leg. So you're standing alongside the block. You're going to bend your knees deeply and sit in your chair, your arms straight out in front of you. So we're not going to do anything with our arms just yet. Just leave them straight out in front of you. But you're going to come on the ball of your right foot and step it over your left and step it on to the block. Now, if you don't have a block, if that's not possible, you can let your foot float, or you could send your toes to the mat and uncross your leg. And let's do that on the other side. Again, there are options here. The nice thing about using a block is that you can feel the lift of your leg. Let's come into our chair. Sit down in your chair. Ball of your left foot, cross it over your right, and it has something to land on. So you can feel that deep squat. So come down. And if you just want it to dangle, that's fine too. Or bring your toes to the mat and then uncross. Right. So whether you use the block or not, we're going to add our arms. Right. Bend your knees, come to sit in your chair. Your arms are straight out in front of you. Now, typically in chair pose, your arms are alongside your ears, but for eagle, we want them straight out in front of us. So cross right leg over left, left arm over right for your eagle arms. So you know you can do multiple types of eagle arms. And you're going to squat all the way down, squat down, squat down, squat down, and then fly away. Right. Come to your chair. Sit in your chair, arms straight out. Ball of your left foot, cross it over your right. Right over left. And squat down, squat, squat down. And then fly away. All right. Okay, so you're going to remember all of that for our flow. So I think what I will do first is we'll look at the flow where our eagle flies into a tree and our eagle decides to fly away, lands in a tree, and then flies away. So it works like this, all right? So we're in our eagle, right? And you could do this with me if you like. And as you come up, you're going to bring your leg on your supporting leg to come into your tree. You're going to spread your wings, lift your leg, send it back behind you to fly away. And then bring it down. Okay. All right, good. Let's do that on the other side. Sit in your chair, come in to your eagle, left over right, right over left, squat down. Push your foot into the mat to come up into your tree. Spread your wings, lift your leg. Knee is in front of you. You're tracking it back behind you to fly away. And then bring it up and bring it down. Okay? All right. From what I can see, it looks like you've got the sequence. All right. So let's begin. So we're going to do more birds. We're going to do a few more winged creatures. So inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, send your right leg back behind you. In your low lunge, get your footing. Place your right wrist under your right shoulder, your left hand on your left thigh. Twist your belly button to your thigh. Keep your hips square. And then maybe once you've twisted, you will extend your arm to the sky. Look up. Bring it down. Look down at your mat. Step your front leg back, downward facing dog. Get your dog. Get your alignment, your chest coming towards your thighs, your heels reaching for the mat. You're pushing the mat away from you with your hands, and then you're going to walk your dog. Bend one knee and then the other. We've already opened the backs of our legs some, so you might notice a difference here. And come back to your dog. You're going to lift your right leg all the way up to the sky as far as it comfortably goes. You're going to bend your right knee. Send your right foot to your left buttock to open up your hip. And then square your hip with the mat. Your knee is still bent. It's going to stay bent. You're going to draw your knee forward, letting your knee land outside your right wrist. Your right toes coming towards your left wrist just a little. And then you're going to slide your left leg back to bring your hips down to the mat. If they don't come all the way, that is perfectly fine. Use a blanket or something underneath your hip to square your spine off. Remember, we don't want our spine all skewed. You want that nice long spine. All right. Walk your hands down to the mat for a reclining pigeon. Come up onto straight arms. Turn under your toes. Lift your knee away from the mat and lift your right leg and send it straight out to you could come right to down dog or a three-limbed dog, right? So if you came back to dog, lift that right leg again, bend your knee, and come forward toward your hands, placing your knee in between your hands. So this is a swan as opposed to a pigeon. Let your fingers come onto the mat. Now here's where it's really helpful if you had blocks. So if you had blocks, you'd be able to bring your hands into, I had one, but I'm not going to reach for it. So you'd be able to hold on to them. So you could stand nice and tall, right? Because what we're going to do in pigeon is you're going to place your hands on the mat or on blocks. You're going to inhale, and then on an exhale, you're going to dip your beak into the lake water. You're going to inhale back up. You're going to bend your elbows and taste that water or grab a little fish and come back up. So swans are so beautiful when they're gliding along a lake on the water. So you can come up a little taller on your leg, send your arms back behind you, Yoga Mudra behind you, your wings alongside your body, gliding on the water. Release your hands, bring them down onto the mat. Turn under your, oh no, don't turn under anything. Roll over onto your right hip. Swing your left leg all the way around. Step on it when it's in front of you. Bring your leg a little closer. Take your foot in your hands, your left foot in your hands. Take a few breaths. And on an inhale, you're going to lift your leg. You could keep it bent or straighten it. Bring your nose to your knee for heron pose or heron. And bring it down. Right. So fold your legs in front of you, one in front of the other. So I have my left leg in front. So my leg that's in the back, I'm going to roll over onto my left hip, send my right leg back behind me, come up onto my hands, Straighten my right leg, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, and that could be in several steps. Step your left foot forward, Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay. Inhale, exhale. Inhale halfway, exhale. Left leg goes back, low lunge. Get your hips square, left hand on the mat, twist to your right leg, your right thigh. And when you have twisted as much as you can, then you can extend your arm. Bring your hand back down to the mat, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg all the way up to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Square your pelvis to the mat. Send your knee to the back of your left knee. Lift for a pigeon wrist. And slide your right leg back. Remember to pad your hip, your left hip, if you need that. And it's quite normal to do that. So please don't hesitate to do it. It's more important that your spine is square. And then bring your forearms down to the mat. Come into a reclining pigeon. Come up onto straight arms. Turn under your toes. Lift your knee away from the mat. Lift your left knee and send it out behind you into a three-limbed dog, or come back to down dog. If you have come back to down dog, lift your leg again, bend your knee, slide it forward. You're coming through a hovering plank to place your knee between your hands. Turn over your right toes. It's a little different in pigeon, isn't it? It's actually a more difficult balance. So you're going to come up onto your fingertips, or if you have blocks, you would be using those. Inhale, exhale. Take a sip of water. Inhale, straight arms. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Last time, exhale. Inhale. Come all the way up. Slide your hands back behind you, Yoga Mudra behind you, gliding along the lake. Beautiful swans. Hands to the mat, turn under your toes. Oh, no, I made the same mistake this time as I did last time. Roll onto your left hip. Swing your right leg around, step it in front of you, the front of your mat. Just step on it. I'll wait for you to get there. Bring your foot closer to you. Take a few breaths. Take hold of your foot with your hands, and you can lift your leg any amount for your heron. Maybe you'll straighten it. Place your foot back down on the mat. Place your shin on the mat. So right is in front of left. Roll over onto your right hip. Send your left leg back behind you. Come up onto your right shin. Lengthen your left leg behind you. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Step your left leg forward, step your right leg forward, Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. And breathe, just breathe. Chin to your chest, roll your shoulders, bend your knees, and come all the way down onto your mat. Come to sit on your mat. Legs straight out in front of you, Dandasana. Arms straight out in front of you, palms facing each other. And count to 20 to come down onto your back. Remember, do not let your back slap onto the mat. Use your forearms to break that flap onto the floor. When you're all the way down, take a few breaths. Bring your feet to the mat. Lengthen your spine. Continue to just breathe and cool. If you have a blanket or a block or anything that you'd like to put underneath your hips, you'll press your feet into the mat, lift your hips, and slide the blanket or pillow or block under your hips. Send one leg up to the sky and then the other. And just relax. Your arms can be overhead. They can be straight out into a T shape. They could be alongside your body. It does not matter. This is about your legs. Let them just reach for the sky. Do nothing else except this little gentle inversion. Allowing your blood flow to improve, allowing excess fluids to drain, allowing your heart to rest. We're going to stay here for one more minute. And then bring your feet to the mat. Lift your hips if you have something to remove. Otherwise, just come straight into Shavasana. Let your legs open gently to the side. Your arms a little away from your body, your fingers cupped upward. Allow your whole back body to just melt into gravity. Let it just go. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation and welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. Stay in your Shavasana. Don't come up because I came up. I don't mean you, Laurie. Anybody else? Just stay in your Shavasana for another couple of minutes. Deepen your breath. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. Send your arms overhead, your feet away from you for a deep, long body stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. And then come to center and roll over onto whichever side you prefer to come to a fetal position. To begin the cycle again. to rebirth. And make your way up to sit. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. And a slow exhale out. Breathing in forgiveness, letting go of the resentment, of the anger, let it go. Breathe in forgiveness, forgiving yourself as well. And let it go. Let it go. Be kind and loving to yourself. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. Namaste. Oops. Okay, so now, Mike, I'm going to go into the right room, into Yoga Nidra. Thank you, everyone. All right. I'll see you in a little bit, some of you, maybe. All right.